Greetings, dear friends. Happy Monday to you. Here we are starting a new week and doing our usual checking in to see what can we focus on letting go of this week. This is the second last week of January, I believe. Yes. How's January felt for you? How have you been integrating into these new energies of 2022? It's definitely a different rhythm. I hope you're feeling that too. I'd love to know how this is all sort of settling in for you, and are these check-ins helping you to see what's going on in the energy around me, as well as what can I focus on in this new week to let go of. The whole idea of letting go is it's about having awareness and then getting really clear on what aligned with you, because we are all works in progress. We take one step at a time. Sometimes they're really small baby steps. But also we get influenced by the phases of the moon in particular. If you've watched these videos before, you know that I love to check in to see where that's at, because that's actually a really powerful reflection of the self. It's what's influencing your deepest part of you, the sense of you. And so that's what I mean about letting go. This time last year, maybe a certain mindset or pattern worked for you, but maybe now you've evolved into something different, something bigger, better, different, right? So that's the whole reason that we sit and just take a deep breath and just sit and reflect. Now, saying that, this is a really powerful time for us to be checking in with this letting go idea, because tomorrow, the 25th, we see the last quarter phase of the moon, and it's in the sign of Scorpio. Scorpio it's all about deep, mystical, spiritual, unconscious aspects of ourselves. And then the last quarter moon, that's the light is diminishing, and so it's a really powerful time for introspection, for inner reflection, for checking in. And because of the Scorpio influence about the deep, deep unconscious aspects, this is a really excellent time to just get clear on what are the unconscious patterns or issues or pieces that are coming up, bubbling up, ready for you to change, to evolve with, to let go, right? So it's about creating that moment of pause and that sense of change to say, yes, I'm keeping this mindset, I'm keeping these things, these words that I use, I'm keeping these, but I'm letting go of these other pieces that don't work so much for me anymore. So this is a powerful time to be doing that. The other thing that makes it even more powerful is that we're now halfway through the Mercury retrograde. Mercury goes direct on February 3rd, I believe it is. And so this is the time to really get clear on your own inner communications, the words that you use. I've been really focusing on that of late. What are the words that you're using to yourself, about yourself, in general, in conversation? Are they aligned with your essence? Are they coming from the truth of you? And there's no right or wrong here. It's just having that awareness. And then, is it time to let some things go and take on new things, or keep things, or expand things, exercise more of compassion and kindness and acceptance and tolerance and things like that? See how that fits for you. Now, all that being said, the card that we're working on this week is all about disapproval of self. That's how come I kind of wanted to go so much into that whole last quarter phase of the moon and the Mercury retrograde, because are there aspects of you deep down within you that tell yourself off, that think that you're not enough, that you disapprove in some way, in some form? Are there pieces of you that you disapprove of, or you wish were different? Of course, I've always said that we all have those pieces. We have these pieces of ourselves that we disapprove of. And then we want to change them, right? And that's okay. That's part of this game, this game of life. That's part of our own evolution. But one thing that I think is really, really important for all of us to understand is we cannot change anything specifically change anything about ourselves until we get to the place of acceptance. It is what it is. Of course, acceptance never means I'm keeping it. Maybe you've got a bad habit and I'm keeping it. No, it's about accepting. This is what it is. And that actually allows the energy to shift and allows you to open up more to what can you do. Maybe you can take one step towards it, not 15. One. And it doesn't matter how big or small those steps are. You get there. Sometimes we get into these successful patterns by taking 2 steps forward and 1 back. 2 steps forward and 1 back. Be careful not to get too stuck or critical about that 1 step back. Always remember what you are doing, not criticizing yourself or beating yourself up for what you have not done. Hope that makes sense. That's how that's landing for me today. Feel into that and let me read this out to you to see if this helps us go a wee bit deeper into it. So, disapproval of self. It's time to let go of self-criticism as it's diminishing your sense of self-worth. Rather than labeling things positive or negative, good or bad, right or wrong, understand that these are all necessary qualities and they exist within each one of us, which is what I was just saying, right? The truth is, there is neither positive or negative, just opposite qualities which together make us the whole. We are all looking for approval, in brackets, love. Once we let go of disapproving of ourselves, it leaves the floodgates open for us to unconditionally love ourselves. I love that. You know, that's actually the vibe of 2022, is giving ourselves that unconditional love that we are actually all seeking at the core. Giving it, sharing it, being it. So this is powerful week, right? So it leaves the floodgates open for us to unconditionally love ourselves. That self-love becomes effortless and automatic rather than feeling like an ongoing struggle. So embrace that. Maybe you could use that as your investigation of yourself. Where does it feel efforty or a struggle to love and accept yourself? And then maybe dialogue that within you, like dialogue with that inner judge. You know, what's it here to tell you? What's it here to teach you? Appreciate it and say thank you and let it go. As always, if you need any help or more resources or more support or more ideas on this idea of letting go, especially when we do the deep introspection ones, sometimes we need some more support or a wee bit of a sounding board. If that happens for you, let me know. I'm here for you. Put it in the comments below or message me directly. So take a nice deep breath. Like I say, we've got a big week in front of us. In a powerful, wonderful way too. It's not a heaviness. So now I'm just going to pull a tarot card and then I'll pull 3 of the angel cards to just help us go really deep into this one. Now this is beautiful. The card that's come up for us in the tarot is 5 of Cups. So 5 of Cups really speaks about reminding you of the goodness, of the juiciness, of the auspiciousness that you have, that you are, that you've achieved, as opposed to getting stuck in beating yourself up and ruining different choices. Do you know what I mean? So it's like, don't beat yourself up for things that you didn't do. Look at what you did do. And that actually really speaks to what I just said about that you get where you're going by 2 steps forward and 1 back. Don't give too much attention to that 1 step back. And that's kind of what the 5 of Cups is speaking about. It's like getting way too caught up on the things that have gone wrong or spilled over or didn't work out right. It's just part of your evolution, part of the journey. So good support here. Now I'm just shuffling Doreen Virtue's Healing with the Angels cards. I really like using these when we discuss the letting go aspects because there's just such loving, light-hearted kindness that comes with the messages from these cards. So let's see what comes up for us today. Beautiful, beautiful. So the first one is nature. You know, when we are in phases of introspection, going for a walk outside, or looking at the outdoors, or just feeling into the connection with all that is so important, and a wonderful way to actually get those truisms from yourself. So tapping into nature, your connection with nature, however you can fit that in. At this time of year, it can be a wee bit difficult if it's raining or pouring or snowing or cold, but you can still go and, meditate with a plant in front of you, or look at the trees or the wildlife outside of your window, things like that. And miracles. Miracles are all around us. Do you remember to acknowledge them, to appreciate them, to really recognize that you're a miracle as well? And that's a beautiful way of coming into soulmate, which soulmate, you are your soulmate. I am my soulmate. When we do these deep dive introspective pieces, that's where we really get to shower loving kindness on ourselves and really show up as the unconditional love, the navigator, the player in our game of life. So this is really pivotal. I'm really excited about this. Let me know how this all lands for you, and I'd love to hear how this letting go of the disapproval of self comes through for you. Much love. I wish you a beautiful week ahead. Like I said, if you need any support or guidance around this area of letting go, please let me know. I will be back with you again next week.